I know, I know. You've seen this title everywhere on YouTube. I know. Whether it be new subscribers or old veterans, you've probably been on the internet multiple times. You've been on this you've been on this network. You know, you've been on YouTube and you've probably seen 100 different, maybe even thousands of videos talking about how they would fix Halloween Ends. And I'm not the first to do that. And I'm well aware that I'm not going to be the last either. But what the fuck? You know, fuck it. It's Halloween. It's the Halloween season. And, you know, I've always wanted to throw my hat in the ring on this. I might as well. So, as you can see from this title, we're going to talk about, like, how I would fix Halloween Ends. And I know, I'm not some big shot director, I'm just a fan who really hated Halloween Ends. But I will admit, I haven't really said this, but rewatching Halloween Ends, I will admit that there was potential. You can clearly see the potential of, like, a good movie. It's just the execution was way off. Like, the target was right there, right, like 3 feet in front of you, David Gordon Green, and then you just suddenly zagged and fired and hit the bystanders. That's where it is. So yeah. So let's talk about how I would fix it. And yes, I'm not going to do anything dumb like, actually, am I going to use Corey Cunningham? Yeah, I am going to use Corey. Am I going to use other elements of Halloween Ends? Yeah. It would be such a... it was all wasted potential, and it would be too easy just to be like, oh, I can just, throw away the Corey Cunningham storyline and just be easy. No, we're not doing that here. So here's how, and it will take a little bit of altering the Blumhouse trilogy on a whole. So let's get started. So the big thing that I would have is Corey Cunningham plays a bigger role in the Blumhouse trilogy. Not just in one movie, but I would have him be kind of in the background through all of them. I would actually have the murder Corey committed inadvertently happen the year prior to Halloween 2018. Basically, have it that he killed this kid, but he killed that kid by accident, but he did get acquitted. And now it's that stigma is still kind of hanging over him. It's not like, in Halloween Ends where they try to say, like, oh, we needed a new boogeyman. No, he killed a kid, and that was a little fucked up. Even if he got acquitted of the matter, he still gets picked on at school, and he wouldn't be a major focus. He wouldn't be like in Allison's circle of friends, but I would have scenes of like, oh, that's Corey Cunningham, that, that's his, that's the kid who, they're not calling him, like, the new boogeyman or the new Michael Myers or anything. They're just like, dude, you killed a kid. We don't want to be around you, and you were always kind of weird. You were always, like, have it that, like, Corey was always kind of just a little bit off. And this just kind of tipped the scales. So Halloween 2018 continues as like before. Nothing really changed. The only thing that really changes is that Corey actually witnesses Michael killing Oscar in one scene. Like, he's off in the... He basically is in the streets and is about to, like, say like, be like, hey, Allison, hey, Oscar, where you guys been? Because I would have it that Allison's actually nice to Corey. Like, kind of build up that rapport. Like, she actually is one of the few people actually, like, treats him with some kind of respect. And again, that would play in, like, again, kind of give that, rather than just be like, oh, it's an open romance or whatever. But have it be that, like, yeah, Allison's nice to him. She's like, yeah, he doesn't deserve, he killed that kid, but, like, he doesn't deserve that. So when he sees them cutting through that field, backyard, the word got away from me, sorry. He's about to be like, hey, Allison, over here, I got a shortcut or something. And then he sees Michael killing Oscar, and it's in that moment where, like, he's just like, whoa, holy shit. Like, and he takes off running, because like, I would have that Michael, like, looks at him, and it's not like a whole transfer of evil, like, whatever the fuck Ends was, but in that moment, like, Corey sees something. Corey sees power. He sees this kind of like the fear that he exudes, like the fear that Corey wishes he could exude on other people that have exuded fear on him for so long. So it's just kind of like a quick taste of like, oh, that's what I want to be. So that's the end of Halloween 2018 for Corey. Halloween Kills, we now move on to into that. In Halloween Kills, Corey is now kind of on his own little separate story. Corey's now like enamored by the boogeyman and keeps trying to have his own little chase in there. I would even have a scene where like he even encounters Michael and is like trying to get too close because like in his fucked up head, maybe he's like, oh, Michael, like maybe we're like kindred spirits, you and me, like maybe he'll understand me. And Michael's like, nope, and fucking just stabs the shit out of him. Have like EMS or some groups find Corey. He gets away, he's like all cut up and he's just spitting up blood. They take him to the ER right before the whole Evil Dies Tonight crescendo happens. And again, Corey is like, he saw Michael, he saw the monster, and he saw the power that monster unleashes on others. And he fully sees like the effect of what Michael can do to people, that kind of power he has over them of, you know, mass hysteria and having that kind of fear over them. So that's when Corey's just kind of like, just in the hospital, like, he's not mad at Michael, he's just like, I want to be you. So by the end of it, by the end of the story, and this is where we're going to get a little controversial here, is that at the end of Halloween Kills, Michael, I would have it in this version, and, you know, stay with me now, Michael does kill Karen. He kills he kills that mob, but he's left wounded and bloodied. And at the same time, Corey has escaped from the hospital, and he's the one who kills Michael at the end of Kills and takes the mask. Now, you're probably wondering, what the fuck, Multi? What the fuck was that? Well, let me explain. The reason why I think it's better to have ends go in this direction is because it kind of sums up the whole thing of, Michael didn't care about Laurie. Michael, you were just another victim for him. And when he, when he saw no longer a threat to you, and the other thing is, like, yeah, Sartain brought you brought Michael to Laurie. He doesn't care about Laurie. And it's Laurie's trauma and dealing with that. Now, the thing of it is that no one saw Michael die. Now, that's the big thing, is that we're kind of, like, again, we're dealing with the trauma of, Michael's still out there for Laurie. We're not going to be like, oh, I moved on after 4 years, even though I spent 40 years in fear of the monster, and now it killed my daughter, but it's okay, I wrote a book. It's more like now, Laurie and Allison are living together and still feeling with that trauma. But the thing of it is that the here in Haddonfield, it's a little different. Rather than, oh, the evil left an impression on our town, in here it would be like, oh, we killed Michael. We totally fucking killed Michael. Yeah, we found blood, we found his they discovered a fucking Michael Myers corpse, and we're like, oh, he's dead. And that's the thing, another thing we're going to talk about here in this movie is that how fast the world tries to forget problems. Need I remind you that, 4 years ago, there was a mass pandemic that killed millions of people across the world. And everyone's walking past that, in 4 years now, as of this recording, we are now, trying to walk past and forget about all that. Not to mention some other horrendous shit that happened in the span of 4 years. I don't think I need to go into detail as to what, but, yeah, people just have, this brain fog, and, oh, yeah, the thing is dead, we can move on, we don't need to talk about it, we never need to talk about it again. Why are you talking about it? Go fuck yourself if you're talking about it. That's the kind of mindset Haddonfield is. The boogeyman's dead, he's gone. But the thing of it is, he's not gone, because now, this is where, again, we're going to have another major change here, is that at the opening scene, or midway through the movie, somewhere in this movie, Corey's back, he's wearing the Michael Myers mask, and he does what Michael could never do, at least in this canon. I say again in this canon, he kills Laurie. He kills Laurie, who is, again, they, like, Laurie and Allison at this point, they're still bonding, they're still, like, caring and loving for this family, because they're all they have. And keep in mind, Allison, I don't know why they suddenly were like, Allison's character arc just got consistently fucked over. But in here, I would have it that they're all they got left, you know, and there's still the loss of a mother, and for Laurie, a loss of a daughter. And for Allison, yeah, she's now like, it's not like guerrilla training, but more like they're going to therapy. They are smart. They are learning how, like, Allison's being taught how to use a gun, or at the very least a pistol. I know, gun is the same fucking thing, sorry. But yeah, knowing how to protect herself. But it's not to, like, the overbearing level that Laurie put on her daughter, Karen. It's more like, yeah, I just want you to... He may, you know, he's dead, but, like, there's always a chance someone else is just going to try to attack you. It may not be a Michael Myers, but it may be someone who... it might be someone else. And that's the thing, is that that's where Corey, like, when Allison, I would actually have Allison be there when, you know, when she thinks Michael kills Laurie. And it would actually be this great moment where, like, she tells, like, the former sheriff, like, hey, and everyone else there, like, hey, Michael killed my grandmother. He killed my entire family. He's now killed my entire family. Everyone's like, shh, you know, it wasn't Michael. You're thinking things. Go, you know, Allison, you'll be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. And this is the moment where now the torches have been both passed to both. Michael has inadvertently passed the torch to Corey, while Laurie has now passed the torch to Allison. So now this is Allison and Corey's movie, and Corey is slowly becoming the boogeyman, the new boogeyman. And why did he wait? And I would have that there has been a 4-year gap. The reason being is because I would have it that Corey was just kind of, like, it's almost like the same thing with Michael, where he just picked one night. Just one Halloween night. It doesn't need a reason. And I would even have that he stopped talking. Like, again, like, he really wants to emulate... He's almost like an incel in the level of, I want to, you know, emulate this horrible human being that no one should, you know, try to live up to. That's, you know, that's what I think would really work, is that make this... If Michael's gone, there's no... Like, Laurie can now pass the torch to Allison, which I feel like should have been the case all along. So now, this is now... The Halloween, it ends... This is now brings the new term for Halloween ends, in that it ends with Allison and Corey, and the two of them on this collision course, while the town is now suddenly, like, out of this brain fog they had of, like, oh, everything's fine, the boogeyman is gone, why do we need to talk about it? It's now like, we weren't prepared for we took care of one evil, but we were never prepared for the second evil. So that's where this whole thing starts. It's almost like Haddonfield just wanted to forget and refused to acknowledge another evil until it's too late, and now it's right in your face. I would also have that where Corey's been is, like, maybe say, like, oh, I moved, like, Corey, like, everyone thought when he left the hospital, he moved out, like, he moved away, like, or something like that, because no one saw him and his parents again. Reason being is because, yeah, another scene I would have is, like, yeah, he fucking murdered his mom and killed, you know, yeah, he murdered his mom, took off, and, like, hid the body, and made it almost look like they moved in a rush. Like, just to play it safe. But really, Corey was, like, just kind of waiting for the right moment. And even have it, like, maybe in his mind, like, have a little, like, Allison finds, like, a little writing, because, of course, he would have, like, a little diary, the little psychopath, would have, like, this diary talking about, Michael, I can feel Michael's presence, but I'm not ready yet. I have to wait for the right moment, for when everyone forgets the boogeyman, they'll remember the new one. So, it's now down to Allison, who's still, like, she's learned some training from Laurie, and now she's trying to put that in, that training and experience she's learned, and fight through the trauma of losing her family and put down the boogeyman once and for all, and free Haddonfield of another monster. Whereas Corey is now gone on full Michael Myers mode. He's not talking. He's not, he's just on a full killing spree trying to emulate it. But I would have it that you, like in here, when Allison's, like, finally fighting Corey one-on-one like Laurie did to Michael, in here, Corey would be, like, like, coughing and, like making sounds, and he'd be like, stop! At the end of it, he'd be like, stop! Stop! And he, like, Allison would rip off the mask and be like, you're not the boogeyman. You never were. And be like, you're just a sad little punk. And, like, and then he's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to kill your grandma. I'm just sick. Yeah, I got the cure. Blam! And just fucking waste him. Yeah. And again, at the end of it, Allison would be like, at the end of the movie, just kind of like, I now have to look forward. My family's all gone, but now I've slain my boogeyman. It's time to look forward into the future. So there you go, guys. That's how I'd fix Halloween Ends. Does it alter a lot of the movies, even though I like kills? Yeah, it does. But I feel like if at least for me, I know there's other movies that have done it better and pitched it better than before. But other than that, yeah, at least that's my take of how to fix Halloween Ends. But you guys tell me in the comments below, how would you fix Halloween Ends? And also, did you guys like this take? Did you guys hate it? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. We'll see you next time in the Multiverse.